So, Andy, happy Thursday night football. The Lions are a truck.
The only thing that's been happy has been Jordan Love's feet. Looks very uncomfortable.
I'll tell you what, man. Do you blame Jordan Love and the Packers offensive line, or do you give credit to this Lions defense that might be very good?
They're getting pressure with 4 a lot. Obviously, not having Jenkins and this is a big issue now. It's been Bakhtiari's been maybe plays, maybe doesn't. He's out. Now it's IR, and not just IR, but like
6 weeks, maybe over.
They're saying maybe season, yeah. Like this knee is just not unswelling, and maybe it just doesn't come back this year, which is an issue. But yeah, this the push they're getting on, like, the old ad, you got to win in the trenches, but they're fucking winning in the trenches.
They're winning in the trenches, yeah,
and not just like a little, like just kind of destroying it. And this could be an absolute all-time bad week for primetime games because you have Jets Chiefs with Swift in the stands.
Monday Night Football might be good.
That's the thing. Like, that's our saving grace is a Giants team that's been a little iffy, and it's taking no money. Boy, there is no appetite to bet the Giants.
Yeah, Seattle's out
what should be a plus spot. I wanted to take the Seahawks as a dog, and F me, like the numbers are gone. I'm done. I probably won't be betting that game now. It got well ahead of me.
Well, you save yourself a losing bet, so that's fine.
Are you on the Giants?
Yeah. Extra rest and kind of all the right matchup of interior pressure against could turn Geno Smith into a pumpkin. I don't love it, but I played the Giants. I don't love that.
You can get a better number now.
On me. Yeah, there's I sold out to 2.5, man. So I already had a number I was excited about. Now I could get even more plus money on it.
I guess I wasn't surprised though that I thought maybe it would close a pick. I didn't expect this kind of action. It isn't a good situational spot for Seattle. Are we still playing this half of football?
Yeah, that's it.
You kind of got to throw a flag. He got pretty grabby with him. Yeah, fuck this game is correct. My Packers teaser probably dead. I never call a bet dead though until it is, maybe an under that too many points been scored. At that point, you're cheering for lightning that cancels the game. That's the only way to get out of it. Ryder Cup's a tricky bet, man.
I don't think the under here is dead. I think it's on life support, obviously.
Oh, that's the thing. This thing took some steam. Day of game, getting all the injury news. You saw some moves that made you wonder who had, some updates on the injuries. And yeah, it went from 46 to 45 in a hurry late this morning. There was some decent money on that. Some people came back and pushed back in the over, but there was definitely an appetite for the under in this. Oh my God. And the half will end on a 15-yard sack.
So let's comment on the ability of the Detroit Lions to really set the tone here with their defensive line, which has been sort of the distinguishing characteristic of this game so far. I got to tell you, man, I did not see this coming this season, that they were going to be able to generate this kind of pressure. Right? Like last week against the
they're not even blitzing.
Yeah,
This 4-man front's just beating their man.
Last week against the Falcons, I was like, man, what happened to the Falcons O-line? They let the Lions get all this pressure. The Lions might just be a front 7 or really a front 4 that's really good. And you know why I am mad that I didn't see this coming? Guys like Alan McNeil, right? Like when he was drafted, that was like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, Lions, they're building through the trenches. Like, yeah, like, here we go. Like, this is a good pick. Like, it felt good in the moment. And then he underwhelmed so aggressively through 2 years. I was like, well, I guess he's a bust. But shame on me. It takes Detroit. It takes D tackles 3 years, man. And this is his year 3, and he looks like he knows what he's doing now.
So
he's killing.
We were on this we were on this, but we were on it kind of lightly. We said this defense probably isn't great, but they have some strengths up front. We were very worried about the attempted secondary
Sure.
rebuild with drafting. You drafted a safety, you brought in a corner, you got rid of one of your high picks, shipped him down to Atlanta. So it was a bit of a worrisome rebuild. But if they're going to continue to have this much success up front, like we've seen now for the last 6 quarters, against, I guess, questionable lines, questionable quarterbacks, if you want to win in the playoffs, you're going to have to do it against good teams as well. But so far it's been great. The profit exchange market was LaPorta versus Musgrave. LaPorta was favored, but that is absolutely done. Not only from a standpoint of LaPorta has like 56 yards to Musgrave's 1. Musgrave is being evaluated for a concussion as well. And I like Musgrave. He's good. I think he can be good, but at the same time, this is a little bit of an issue if we're gonna have this
Andy,
much pressure, happy feet, inaccuracy from Love.
Sam LaPorta is the stop me. Sam LaPorta is
He's Kelsey in blue.
4th, 5th, 6th. Oh no, I'm gonna go from bottom up. Okay, you ready? Stop me.
Okay.
Sam LaPorta is the 10th, 9th, 8th, 7th, 6th, 5th, 4th, 3rd.
I'm trying to think. So
is he the 3rd best tight end?
Kelsey Waller.
You're gonna take him over Kelsey and Andrews. I would put
Kelsey, Andrew, Waller.
I would say 1 or 2, probably, right?
Who am I missing? I feel like I'm being.
There's definitely. I mean, the tight end situation.
Kittle. We should put Kittle ahead of him.
Horrific. Yeah, Kittle.
Kittle just doesn't get enough love because
LaPorta is LaPorta top 5. Hawk is getting paid. Hawk is getting paid, but LaPorta might be better.
So Hawk is very good. We'll never find out if Kyle Pitts is good. Dallas Goedert, I think he's in that range of like Goedert, Hawk. Maybe if Pitts ever gets used, Dalton Schultz can be good. There's some guys he's getting to that level where it's like there's only 3-4 guys ahead of him. Hawkinson is very good. The ball's just slippery in Minnesota.
LaPorta made a couple plays already in this game where I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
He had a drop too. He should have like 70 yards. I wouldn't mind the Lions being aggressive in the second half, at least in the throw it to the tight end a few times, because I may have a LaPorta ladder rolling where right now he's over his yardage prop and I'm breaking even on it because we have so many other legs to go.
Sure.
So 10, 20, 30, maybe 60 more yards would be awful nice for Mr. LaPorta at that point. I believe it was about a 20-1 if he got 110 yards.
All right, let's focus on what the Lions' strategy is then, because like, why put anything else on tape? Now tell me if I'm being reactionary. Their script and then extended script was some of their best stuff.
Very good.
That they put on tape all season long. Like obviously Ben Johnson, that was like what he was thinking about over the summer.
He's gone. He's a coach. He's a head coach.
Yeah. No.
We kind of already knew that, but
yeah, for sure. But like the stuff that he was thinking about over the summer, like we saw a lot of it here for the first time this season, right? Like they unveiled a bunch. This is obviously a high leverage game for the Lions. They knew it. They came in with a fucking plan and they are executing it brilliantly. The question I have to ask you is like, what do they do now? Do they put it in the bag, right? Save it for next time, or do they continue to try to flex on these guys and really just embarrass Green Bay at home?
That was the question we were having, because we, just imagine the Lions for the last few years. How many close games have we seen with the Lions? It's always a close game.
Always.
We just haven't seen this too many times under the Dan Campbell regime, and we've never seen it with this good of a team that he's had on the field as far as skill position players on offense. So what would obviously if you want to salt it away, don't use the good plays. You run more. You have 2 very competent running backs. You can throw some short stuff to basically anybody on the field. You have a lot of guys that can play across the short part of the field. But the fact that they're getting so much push in the front, I'm not so sure that they don't just score anyway. They're getting, I mean, what is their average yards per rush right now? They're getting 6.1.
That
And I know we know I had the long one from Khalif Raymond, but even if you toss that out, they're getting like 4.5, 5 yards of carry from basically everyone. Like,
so here's the thing. First of all, the Packers need touchdowns. They no field goals, which lends itself to an under if they can't get going in the red zone, which I don't think they will. It's only 20-10 in terms of time of possession, so it's not like the Packers defense has been out there so much that they're not gonna like get up and give you an honest effort. Obviously, they have some young guys, particularly in the second level, that I think are going to be able to do a little bit better of just get up in the second half of this one and try to stop the Lions from running it down their throat after they get kind of in the position of scoring touchdowns. So my guess is Lions field goals, not touchdowns, unless the Lions have other stuff in their playbook they want to test out, which might work. Like, who knows?
I played on the open, Drew. It was plus 144 for Lions second half money line. I didn't play a lot on it, but I played it. Yeah. Like the number was probably wrong. It should have been Packers like -1 in the second half. It's getting that down.
Like, honestly, if this ends 37-3, will you be surprised? I won't.
No. I mean, I don't hate the under. I think let's just roll with it. I wonder if Green Bay scores.
I'll be 100% transparent.
Oh, look at Canadian Cappers back. This guy.
Hey, Canadian Capper 72.
This guy was like 4-1 with the silly halftime props.
Oh, dubs.
They weren't so silly.
More. 36 more yards. Okay. He's been getting open and getting separation. But Jordan Love is not in his area code.
Passes have not been good. Dubs has 5 targets. He leads. I mean, that's the tied for the lead with anybody on the field right now. So don't hate it, Mr. Canadian.
Yeah. Packers may be able to move the ball, sure, but they're not getting back in this game. I would expect that they probably put Watson and Jones back on ice. Why wouldn't you?
They haven't been hardly using them as it is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at this point, down by 3 scores, if you're counting 8s, well, why in the world would you have Watson go out there and run, 30 fucking routes at this point? Why would you put Aaron Jones out there in danger when you have a long stretch? You have 10 days to get ready and healthy for this game.
Yeah.
The next game coming up. Somebody's saying 16-1, no more touchdowns. That's a fun one.
Oh, that's fun. I'll be fully transparent. I took a big old swing under 55 -104 in the end of the first quarter. So I'm very, very hopeful that this
is down.
Like 37-3.
We're on the right track. It took money. It's 20.5 now. So
all right.
I like it. I think we're sitting on a good bet. I have some under 21. I have some Lions straight up in the second half. I think we're going to be in good shape on those. And I probably won't watch a lot. I got shit to do. We got Ryder Cup. I probably won't stay up and watch the ones that start at like 2 a.m. I'm just too washed for that shit.
Okay.
But I'm getting up nice and early to catch the second session.
Okay, before you check out here, and I'm gonna ask of 2 more minutes of your time.
Oh, you got all the time in the world if you need it here.
Does what you're seeing here impact your opinion of the Lions in the NFC? In the fabric of the NFC, like, are they in the 4? Are they in the mix of 4?
No, it's still a little. It's still a little ways off. Dude. This is a Packers defense that's missing their best run stopper and their best cornerback. What we've seen from offense, it was really well laid out. Do it against a decent team, and we can talk. It's still 3 teams. Okay. Dallas Dallas is trailing off from that. There's a sizable gap between Philly.
I trust you. Not going to trust anyone.
Make a case the other way. That are you thinking the other way?
Their schedule is easy as fucking shit.
Well, no, I'm fine with them being a big part of the playoffs, Dude, winning this division, being the 3 seed.
Go look at
I just can't see them going
3 seed.
Like, what question were you asking, Drew? I don't know what you're asking.
Are they in the mix of 4 teams that could realistically win the NFC? Like, is it like I've been operating under the impression that to win the NFC was a 3-team club. I'm now wondering if it's 4, or is it 3 and we're going to kick someone else out? We'll talk about that.
I couldn't see them. whatever the Cowboys are able to do over the next 2 weeks decides if they can float back near the top 2 or fall back down towards like where the Lions and some of these other teams
Okay.
are. But there's still a sizable gap in there, and the Cowboys are just floating around in the middle of it. Like, I just couldn't get to a point where I would take them seriously to go to Philly and win, and then, go to San Francisco and win. It's like, yeah, they're probably the fourth best team in the NFC. But I mean, what do my power numbers say for them this week?
Game theory. This Niners are the 1 seed, Lions are the 2 seed, Philly is the 3 seed. Philly and the Lions win their wild card games. Lions welcome Philly, while the Dallas Cowboys go out to San Francisco
4.5
in the divisional.
Right now I'd make Philly a 3-point favorite at Ford Field.
Ooh.
I have it as 4.5 point difference. Currently, I've not upgraded the Lions at all, obviously, from this game yet.
Okay.
So maybe
I guess
2, maybe 2.5.
The thing to watch is Jared Goff grown up, right? Is he
good when he's clean?
He's always been good when he's clean, but like, let's be honest. Like the narrative was Sean McVay was giving him the cheat codes. And it seems like now he's operating at a little bit more. I can create
took
something.
The training wheels off, huh?
Right. Right.
Took the training wheels off, right?
So I don't know.
He looks good.
I mean, it seems like he's operating on his own to the degree.
I mean, we're seeing that, Drew, but
it could be better.
I mean, the interception he threw was more egregious than probably any pass that Love threw in the first half. That was
you didn't watch all Love's passes then.
I watched all Love's like those linebackers and that safety are just sitting back there in that zone waiting, and he just lofts one over the middle. Like you can't. That's the thing. You can't do that shit versus San Francisco. You can't do it against Green Bay, apparently. But like, if he's going to make decisions like that when he has better options, he's still going to hold him back against good teams.
All right. Look, I'm taking no action on this. I just wanted to talk about. Thank you for that. Final question.
Well, I'm curious. Do you have your what would you make Philly? What do you make Philly Detroit on a neutral right now?
I think hopefully it would be 2.5, and I could bet Philly. But I don't know.
I mean, that would be that would be lovely. I'm just saying, like,
no,
my difference right now is 4.5.
No, like I'm kind of intrigued to see what the market makes Philly on the road in the playoffs this year and whether it's bettable. That's kind of where my perspective.
I have the Niners better than Philly, obviously.
Yeah. Okay. Last question while I got you. So I'm not doing anything with Lions. But the Lions ceiling now for me is 2 seed.
Like, so here's one thing.
The Lions can get the 2 seed. Make no mistake. Yeah.
What if one thing I think is maybe missing is somebody else to set up across the field as a second wide receiver to St. Brown? Do you think they could trade for somebody? Oh, what if they just got a stud back from suspension instead?
That'd be nice.
Like we haven't even got to see. We haven't even gotten to see Jameson Williams yet. Like this guy's been injured and hurt and injured and suspended, and like they have another wide receiver coming back.
I know what you're getting at, but
I know it's crazy.
I also feel like
I'm just trying to stoke the Lions fire for you there.
Dude, do you need to even though? Because like Amon-Ra, Reynolds, LaPorta, like these guys are cooking, man. Like they're cooking. I don't know.
Well, that's Ben the Johnson. Thing. Like, it probably unlocks LaPorta even more.
Maybe, maybe.
Imagine having 2 decent receivers and a tight end.
I'm prepared for Jameson Williams to make 0 impact and the Lions offense still to be fucking good enough to get the 2 seed in the NFC. I think that's kind of where I'm at right now. Because
and this is Patrick has it right. Like he is a deep threat guy, but what deep threat guys definitely open up the underneath. Like he probably just makes St. Brown that much better. And the good point by our friend Link Calhoun. Gibbs hasn't even left like they're not even using Gibbs completely yet at this point. Maybe they're waiting for him.
What do you think? We'll throw some cold water on the Lions boner because long way to go. But I do think their ceiling is pretty clearly top 2 seed in the NFC, which is something I didn't think was realistic a little while ago.
If they can get a home game if they get a home game versus Philly in the playoffs, then they could be heading to the Genes for an NFC title game, and that would be really something.
Yeah, that would be fun. It'd be fun.
I mean, because we've said this before, and especially if the Cowboys start to fall off a cliff that they're starting to, they've got like 10 fingers on the cliff now. If they start falling off the cliff, like who else is in that tier in the NFC? You're talking New Orleans, Green Bay, Seattle, Minnesota, Rams, Atlanta.
Nope.
Well, no, that's who's in this.
Yeah, I know.
Chunk. Yeah, those aren't teams that are up to these challenges, probably. So Detroit is clearly the fourth best team in the NFC, and ceilings too. It's wild how fun this is right now.
Romeo Dubs catching some balls for Canadian Capra. That's cool.
There we go.
All right. Final question for you, and then let's put a bow on this bad boy. What does Team USA need to do to lift the cup?
They probably need to start 2-2 tonight or better. 2-2. It can't.
1-3. We're done. We're cooked.
Well, not done, but man, it wouldn't be good. Like they're not sizable dogs.
How in the hell does Christian Watson get so wide open?
They're a favorite, a sizable favorite in one. They're a decent dog in another, but that one is against some younger players. It has to be 2-2 in this one because I think this was a good setup by Luke Donald. And honestly, I worry about a lot of the matchups on Sunday. I think they have to go into Sunday with a lead.
Okay.
I did play some Europe -4 at like 4-1. The blowout factor is definitely there. And I mean, in all of these. That's just kind of how these cups work. They've been so good at just setting up courses that like, hey, here's a course that, we're going to set up and it's going to play into our strengths and the US is going to play bad. And I don't give a shit how long you've been across the pond. These first matches, it's still 1 a.m. It's still 1 a.m. start time for these guys. Like you don't ever get out of your rhythm of what time it is for you in your home country. Like it's still early. You've seen some bad results in some of these early foursome matchups for the US when they are across the pond. It's even worse because it's an hour further east than when they play some of these in the UK. So I think Hovland trucks the top end of Europe looks really good, and we really have to pick up points everywhere else.
Sounds like you like Europe.
I mean, the market is not in disagreement with that. They're going to play all their studs probably 5 times, and like between Rom, Rory, and Hovland, you might end up with 12 points.
Good. Yeah, those guys are good.
They're very, very good.
Okay,
it'll be interesting. You got it. If you don't take a full point from off of Team Beefcakes, which Lowry and the Austrian. Like then you're in trouble.
Team Beefcake, because Sepp Straka.
Sepp Straka is a huge dude.
He is. I'm old enough to remember Sepp Straka sucking at golf.
Also, he's barely European. Like that's the worst. The guy went to school here. He lives in like Georgia. He doesn't even have an accent. Like, he laid an accent on today. It was pretty funny for one of like their promo clips.
Oh wow!
But you're not from Europe.
The refs are trying to get the Packers back into this game. My goodness gracious!
He moved to U.S. when he was 15. Yeah, guys, I was born in Europe. I don't qualify either. So, all right, I'll see you guys.